When you sit in judgment of yourself, you're wrong as hell. That was the fire that lived inside James Cagney, a man born into hardship, forged in grit, and transformed into Hollywood's most electrifying gangster. To audiences, he was raw honesty on screen, a force of truth in a world built on illusion. But behind the fame was a darker reality few ever saw. A shocking list later revealed the 6 people James Cagney despised most in his life. These weren't strangers. They were friends, rivals, and powerful figures who betrayed his trust. And each betrayal carved a scar that never healed. His greatest enemy wasn't another actor, it was Jack Warner. As head of Warner Brothers, Jack Warner controlled careers with an iron grip, and Cagney quickly became his most defiant star. After The Public Enemy exploded in 1931, Cagney became a sensation, but his contract stayed painfully small. Warner demanded endless hours, little pay, and total obedience. When Cagney complained, Warner coldly told him to be grateful for being taken off the streets. That humiliation ignited a lifelong war. In 1935, Cagney did the unthinkable. He walked out on Warner Brothers, challenging the entire studio system. It shocked Hollywood. Warner retaliated by limiting Cagney's roles and smearing his reputation as difficult. Cagney fired back with one of the sharpest insults in Hollywood history: Jack Warner would have made a great slave owner in the Old South. Their feud was never about money, it was about dignity. And neither man ever forgave the other. Then there was Edward G. Robinson, the rival who became a personal enemy. Both men rose in 1931 with The Public Enemy and Little Caesar, instantly crowned as Hollywood's gangster kings. Studios fueled their rivalry, promising both the same roles. The breaking point came during Smart Money, when Robinson allegedly pushed for script changes that nearly erased Cagney's role. To Cagney, it felt like deliberate sabotage. He never forgave Robinson. Years later, during the Blacklist era, Robinson cooperated with investigators. Cagney, fiercely anti-communist but loyal to his principles, refused to name names. When Robinson's career collapsed, Cagney reportedly said, "Eddie played tough guys for years, but folded when it actually mattered." For Cagney, that was betrayal beyond repair. Clark Gable was different. This feud wasn't about contracts, it was about truth. Cagney grew up in real poverty. So when he overheard Gable bragging about a rough working-class upbringing at an MGM gathering, something snapped. Cagney muttered loud enough for Gable to hear, "Amazing how some people remember childhoods they never had." From that moment, the contempt was permanent. Cagney despised Gable's polished image, his king nickname, and the studio myths sold to the public. During World War II, Gable's military service was glorified nationwide, while Cagney worked himself sick on war bond tours. The final insult came at the 1943 Oscars when Gable joked about Cagney's height. Cagney fired back quietly but deadly, "At least I stand tall without a publicity department adding inches." He never attended another event where Gable was present. James Stewart was once his friend until politics destroyed the bond. They lunched together on sets, respected each other deeply. But during the Cold War, Stewart openly supported the WAC investigations. Cagney, who had fought communism and unions for years, refused to name names. At a heated Screen Actors Guild meeting, Cagney confronted Stewart, "What you support isn't patriotism, it's fear dressed up as courage." Their friendship ended that day. Years later, Cagney would only say, "We couldn't agree on what we were supposed to be fighting for." And finally, Humphrey Bogart. Early in Bogart's career, he often played doomed gangsters beneath Cagney's shadow. On the set of Angels with Dirty Faces, Bogart showed up unprepared. Cagney shoved him against a wall and snapped, "Learn your lines or find another job." Though Cagney later respected Bogart's rise, the resentment never fully faded. When Bogart died in 1957, Cagney did not attend the funeral. To the world, James Cagney was a legend. To those who crossed his values, he was unmovable stone. So who do you think was Cagney's most unexpected enemy? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this untold Hollywood story, make sure to subscribe to Hollywood Unseen, hit the like button, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss the next explosive chapter from behind the curtain of fame.